Hello guys, once more I welcome you to this session that I'll be discussing something about on crop rotation. Crop rotation is a long-term tested agricultural practice that involves a systematic alteration of different types of crops, and this is done on the same plot, the same piece of land, doing a rotation of different types of crops, different species within that same plot. This practice is very essential in maintaining, number one, soil fertility, number two, managing the pests and diseases, and at the same time ensuring sustainable farming. Um, I'm going to discuss crop rotation under the following subtopics. Number one, as I've done it, introduction. Number two, how crop rotation works. And number three, I'll talk about the benefits of crop rotation. Then number five, I'll talk about examples of rotation cycles. Lastly, I'll give you some tips that will help you as a farmer to carry out this crop rotation. Now, as we proceed, let me proceed to the next step, that is how the crop rotation works. Um, as we all know, that crops are categorized based on their growth cycles and nutrient requirements. This means that different types of crops, depending with their nutrient requirements and their growth cycles, will require a systematic way of rotating such crops. This means you can't rotate crops with the same growth cycle, crops with the same nutrient requirements in the same plot in subsequent years or in subsequent seasons. So it is very important, it is very key for us to know that note that different crops have different nutrient requirements, and at the same time they require different growth cycles, and this growth cycle is what enables a farmer to know which crop should be rotated with which one. Now, a typical rotation of crops might include the following. Number one, we have leafy vegetables. You can have leafy vegetables. Examples of these leafy vegetables, we have the lettuce, the cabbages, and we also have the cabbages, kales, etc. Number two, we have fruits. This includes tomatoes, lettuce that produces, and other fruits that produces edible fruits. We have also root vegetables, which includes the carrots, radishes, and turnips. These are type of vegetables. Sometimes people may ask, or people tend to think that we have a common type of vegetables, but I want to tell you today that we have around 4 types or categories of vegetables. So we have root vegetables, we have fruit vegetables, we have tuber vegetables, etc. Then next, another typical rotation includes legumes, where we have those crops that fixes nitrogen into the soil. Examples of these crops, we have the beans, the peas, cowpeas. We have the soya beans, we have the lentils, etc. NB, you need to note that by rotating these crops categories, farmers can optimize soil health and productivity. Optimizing means that you take the productivity level to the next level, that is from low to middle, from middle to higher levels of productivity. Next thing that I would like to discuss is about the key benefits of crop rotation. However much we might be talking about crop rotation, Some people may be asking themselves, is there any benefit when we rotate crops? Let me uh, reiterate that the crop rotation system is a system that has a lot of benefits, and I'll mention a few of them. Number one, crop rotation prevents nutrients depletion. This is to say that different crops have varying nutrient requirements and nutrient demands, and this ensures that there is a balanced nutrients in the soil. For example, when you rotate maize with beans, these two types of crops have different nutrient requirements. So at the moment you've planted maize, it means the maize will only consume the nutrients that it requires. In the next season, when you rotate this crop with another crop that is the beans, you'll realize that the requirements of these beans is quite different from that of the maize, and therefore it means all the nutrients required by these beans will have remained in the soil. But what happens if you rotate beans in season one? You plant beans, for example, if it is January, you plant beans, then when it comes to the next season, that is around July, August, you plant same beans. So it means um, this crop will consume all the nutrients that is available in the soil. And as you continue planting the same crop subsequently in subsequent seasons, you'll realize that the nutrient levels in the soil that these beans requires has gone down. And what will happen is the productivity levels will continue reducing gradually as you continue planting that same beans. Now, you need to understand that as you do this crop rotation, you prevent nutrient depletion from the soil. Number two, another key benefit of crop rotation is about pest and disease management. As a farmer, you need to understand that diseases that attack a certain crop, for example, diseases that attack cabbage, may not attack the beans. And therefore, it means when you rotate cabbage with beans, that disease that might be existing in the soil, there are those diseases that we call soil-borne diseases. That disease that might be existing in that soil might have uh, gone away. Now, rotating crops disrupts the life cycle of pests and pathogens that targets specific plants. So once you already disrupted the life cycle of these pests, it means these pests may die. The generation of these pests will be discontinued. Therefore, when you plant in the next season, you will realize that the potential pest attack has reduced in your crops. So, farmers, I will urge you that you be very keen when you are doing your farming activities. Consider doing crop rotation. This will help you reduce the incidences of pests and diseases in your crops. Next, another key benefit of crop rotation, we have the crop rotation enhances soil structure. At some point, guys, you'll realize that there are those crops that when you plant them in your farm, they'll try to bind the soil together, hence maintaining the compatibility of the soil. And there are those crops that when you plant them, they have no potential. Their roots do not have any potential of doing what? Of binding the soil together. So guys, when you do crop rotation, root systems of different crops improve soil aeration and at the same time the water retention in the soil. Another key benefit, and this will be most likely the second last, we have natural fertilization. Legumes, as you all understand, these crops have a potential of fixing nitrogen into the soil. Nitrogen being one of the elements and one of the key nutrients that is required by most plants. When you plant legumes, example the beans, the groundnuts, the peas, the cowpeas, the soya beans, these fixes nitrogen into the soil naturally, and therefore when you plant your crops you will realize that already the soil has already been enriched with the nitrogen. Nitrogen is very key. Farmers, I wish to tell you that nitrogen is very key in vegetative growth, and therefore if the levels of nitrogen in the soil is very low, therefore it means the vegetative growth of your crops may not be really appealing, and therefore this is also one of the very important requirement in the soil. Lastly, we have sustainable farming. When you talk about sustainability, it means the consistency of farming activities. That is, this ranges from the productivity level of your crops. Number two, the quality of your crops that you produce. Then lastly, the quantity. So guys, as you do crop rotation, farmers, this will reduce the reliance on chemical fertilization, and therefore you will as well reduce the reliance on pesticides, and this will promote an eco-friendly agriculture. Let me give you a challenge, guys. If you keenly do crop rotation, you will not require chemical fertilization in your farms. I don't know how you get this, because this is the fact that if you do a correct crop rotation, alternating crops in different seasons,